Hello friends, welcome back. In this session, we are going to learn how do we enable the Hyper-V Manager and the Hyper-V feature on the Windows 11 machine. It's very interesting and important feature that we all should learn, and it can be understood within few minutes. It's a fantastic feature which is coming with Windows 11, and it is available only on the professional as well as educational version, and it is not available or not supported on the home edition. Hyper-V is also available on 64-bit versions of Windows 10 Pro, Enterprise and Education version, and again it is not available in the Home Edition. It's a fabulous virtualization solution which is supported in Windows 11. It will obviously help you to run the VM virtual machines on the Windows 11 with ease. And first thing that we need to do is we need to enable it. By default, it may not come enabled, and I'm going to tell you the sequence of the steps that you need to follow towards enabling this and to use the Hyper-V feature, and the virtualization will become much more easier. This particular feature lets you run the virtual machine, and you can install multiple OSs operating systems on top of your existing Windows. And Hyper-V Manager is another thing which is available, which will help you to create, read, retrieve, update, delete virtual machines. So it's a manager. So we are going to enable Hyper-V, and I'm going to show you the entire procedure. First, we need to understand if Hyper-V is by default enabled. It may not be enabled, and for that to happen, we need to first go ahead and enable virtualization in the machine. How do we do it? Very simple. We will first check if our virtualization is enabled. I'm going to Task Manager, and in that I'm going to Performance. In that you could see something called as virtualization. If it is disabled, your virtualization related things will not work and Hyper-V cannot be enabled. So the first step that you need to do is to go ahead and to enable the virtualization. How do we do it? Very simple. This has to be done in the BIOS, and I'm going to show you how exactly to do that as well. In my machine, which I have is Windows 11 machine, and it is a HP machine, and in that I need to use the keystroke F10. If it is a different PC, you may have a different keystroke for it while booting that you need to press to get into the BIOS, and see the process where I am helping you to understand how do you enable the virtualization in your machine, through which is the fundamental requirement for you to go on using the Hyper-V feature. Let's go ahead and understand how do we get the virtualization enabled in your PC through BIOS. It's easy.
If you see that very clearly here, we are going to enable virtualization. This is the BIOS setup that I am in right now, and every laptop would have a different key probably. For HP laptops, it is F10 key, which you need to press during the boot up time, and once you press F10 key, you'll be taken to the BIOS settings. And inside that, if you see, you can go to system configuration. There you've got virtualization technology available, and you could see that it is disabled. You can see that it is disabled. Now I have to change it, and I am making it enabled. That's all. So you have enabled it, and what next? Very simple. We have enabled it and we have to save and come out. So I'm pressing escape, and I need to save it properly. How do I save it? Very simple. I can save and exit by pressing F10. Yes, I am saving it and I am exiting. That's all. So we have done it, and that's easy.
Well, you have seen the way we have enabled it, right? Now we need to see if it has been really enabled. So I'm taking you back to the same procedure. You can see in the Task Manager, you can see the virtualization is enabled. Well, we have done 50% of the work where your virtualization is enabled, and the next step is to get into the Hyper-V. How do we do that? Very simple. It's very interesting. Please go to Settings, and in the Settings, you can go to Apps. You can see that here, Apps is here. And in that, please go to Optional Features. Optional Features is the one that you need to click. And in that, you would see Turn Windows Features on and off as an option. And once you click it, you will get all the Windows features listed. And there, you could notice that the Hyper-V could be disabled. Just tick that, put a tick mark, and it may take few seconds for you to get the process settled. It will search for the required files. It will apply the changes, and finally it will complete the required changes, and you have to restart your machine for you to go ahead and get the Hyper-V enabled. Once the Hyper-V is enabled, you can obviously go ahead and start using the Hyper-V Manager. Now in the search button, start typing Hyper-V Manager, and immediately it will get launched, and the world of usage after that would be very, very simple for you. That's it. You've got your Hyper-V Manager setup, and you can now create, you can now handle, delete, whatever you want to do with your virtual machines. You can do that much easily with this Hyper-V Manager. To try it out, and in case you have any questions, you can reach me. I'll happily help you. Thank you.